Imagine a country smaller than New York City, a nation with no natural resources, no oil, no farmland, and barely enough drinking water. A place once dismissed as nothing more than a swampy island, a pirate hideout, a forgotten fishing village. And yet today, it stands among the richest, safest, and most advanced societies on Earth. This is not fiction. This is the story of Singapore, one of the most extraordinary transformations in human history. How did a tiny island become a global powerhouse in just one lifetime? Tonight, we travel back 700 years to uncover how Singapore was born, nearly disappeared, and then reinvented itself against all odds. Long before skyscrapers pierced the sky, Singapore was known as Temasek, meaning Sea Town. As early as the 14th century, traders from China, India, and the Middle East stopped here while crossing between the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea. Its location was perfect, sitting at one of the busiest maritime crossroads in the world. But Temasek wasn't an empire. It was small, vulnerable, and constantly caught between larger regional powers. Pirates roamed nearby waters, kingdoms rose and fell. Eventually, the settlement faded into obscurity under the rule of regional Malay sultanates. For centuries, the island remained quiet, mostly fishermen, jungle, and scattered villages. History nearly forgot it existed, until one man changed everything. In 1819, British official Sir Stamford Raffles stepped onto the island's shores. Europe was locked in a fierce competition for Asian trade routes. The British needed a strategic port to challenge Dutch dominance. Raffles saw what others didn't. He saw location. He signed the 1819 Treaty of Singapore, allowing the British East India Company to establish a trading post, officially marking the founding of modern Singapore. And then he made a revolutionary decision. Singapore would become a free port. No heavy taxes, no trade restrictions. Merchants flooded in almost overnight. Chinese traders, Indian laborers, Arab merchants, European businessmen. Within decades, a sleepy island became one of the busiest ports in Asia. But rapid growth came with chaos, overcrowding, disease, crime, and inequality. Singapore was booming, but fragile. Raffles understood that trade alone wasn't enough. In the 1820s, he introduced the Raffles Town Plan, organizing districts by function and community, one of Asia's earliest examples of structured urban planning. The city expanded rapidly. Dockyards filled with ships, warehouses lined the river. Immigrant communities shaped culture and language. Singapore became a crown colony in 1867, strengthening its role as a global trading hub. But beneath prosperity, tensions grew. Colonial rule meant locals had limited political power. And soon, world events would shatter the illusion of British invincibility. In 1942, during World War II, Japanese forces invaded Singapore. The British fortress, once believed impossible to conquer, fell in just days. For the people of Singapore, the occupation was brutal. Food shortages, fear, violence. The war destroyed confidence in colonial rule forever. When Japan surrendered in 1945, Singapore returned to British control. But something had changed. People no longer wanted to be ruled. They wanted independence. In 1959, Singapore held its first self-governing elections. A young lawyer named Lee Kuan Yew became Prime Minister. His challenge was enormous: high unemployment, poor housing conditions, ethnic tensions, limited natural resources. Singapore briefly joined Malaysia in 1963, but political disagreements grew. Then came the turning point. On August 9, 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia and became an independent nation. It was not a celebration. Lee Kuan Yew famously cried during the announcement. Many believed Singapore could not survive alone. A tiny country with nothing. No army, no resources, no certainty. But crisis became opportunity. Singapore's leaders made bold, unconventional choices. First, housing. The government created massive public housing programs, building modern apartments that replaced crowded slums and gave citizens stability. Second, economic strategy. Instead of protecting local industries, Singapore invited foreign companies. Factories opened, jobs multiplied, education shifted towards science, engineering, and technical skills. Strict anti-corruption policies built global trust. By focusing on efficiency, trade, and infrastructure, Singapore transformed from poverty into an industrial powerhouse within decades. What took many countries centuries, Singapore achieved in one generation. By the 1980s, Singapore wasn't just surviving, it was evolving again. The country shifted toward finance technology. Aviation, global commerce, land reclamation projects reshaped the coastline, creating new districts like Marina Bay, turning reclaimed land into a world-class business and lifestyle center. Education investments produced a highly skilled workforce. Infrastructure became world-leading. Singapore transformed into a work-live-play city, clean, efficient, and globally connected. From fishing boats to one of the busiest airports and ports on Earth. Today, Singapore stands as a symbol of strategic vision. A multicultural society where Chinese, Malay, Indian, and global cultures coexist. A nation built not on natural wealth, but on planning, discipline, and long-term thinking. Its GDP per capita rose from roughly $500 in 1965 to levels comparable with developed nations within decades. The lesson? Geography matters, leadership matters, but choices matter most. Singapore's story is not just about buildings or economics, it is about transformation. A forgotten island became a trading post. A colony became a nation. A struggling country became a global success. Proof that size does not define destiny. Vision does. And perhaps the greatest miracle of Singapore is not how fast it grew, but how deliberately it chose its future. From Temasek to Singapore, the island that rewrote its own story.